What is up, guys? We'll hit you with the Indigo Saint intro. Let's get it. Boom. Let's get it. Indigo Saint in the building. Blackrue Investing. Let's go.
Who's this producer?
Best believe it was Blackrue Investing. With your money, you ain't gotta be guessing. Profits is what we manifesting. So we binge on that Blackrue Investing. Best believe it was Blackrue Investing. That course in this race, we ain't resting. We got stocks, we got crypto with a blessing. So thank God for that Blackrue Investing. Best believe it was Blackrue Investing.
What is up, guys? We're back in the house here. Much anticipated second Bearable Bull Riddle part 2. We did part 1 with Moonfeather. She's back for part 2 here, guys. We've been talking about it a lot here lately. The blood moon is coming up. What can we expect? Like, how have past blood moons impacted the market? We're going to talk XBR. We're going to talk Zebec. We're going to talk Canton. Let's give Mooney the floor so she can introduce herself and welcome her back to you guys.
Hi guys, what's going on? So much love, peace, and blessings to everyone. I'm extremely grateful to be here once again with Rue. Every time we get together, it's always so awesome, and then explosive things always happen afterwards, either in the world or in the market, and specifically in the market. I don't know. Is it coincidence? I don't know. I don't believe in coincidences. But anyway, my name is Moonfeather. For those of you who are just meeting me for the first time, I'm an intuitive reader. I read tarot. I have my own channel. And, I'm an investor. I'm a businesswoman as well. And I talk about crypto on my channel. And I tie it in also with financial astrology, right? Because as well as in my show and here on Rue's show, we say this quote by JP Morgan that millionaires don't believe in astrology, billionaires do. So, we always got to follow the money, right, guys? So I'm extremely grateful to be here. I can't wait to touch on these topics that Rue has today, because we found some incredible synchronicities that's lining up, especially now coming March. And it's just hold on, guys, because honestly, the energies are indicative of a lot of wonderful things that are coming. So we just need to hang on a little bit longer. And I'm excited to be here.
Thanks for that intro, Mooney. If guys, you want to know where to find her channel, just go over to my channel, Blackrue Investing, and then you click on the home page, which should come up by default. Mosey on down to the bottom here. And then you got Underdog Research Channel, Shook Focus Digital, Maximus Crypto, and the Mooneyverse right here. It's cool because Mooney's told me some of you guys have gone over and watched her lives. So I like it when the communities kind of cross-pollinate and stuff like that. So wonderful. You guys are the most sharing, the most caring community out there. I appreciate every single one of you guys. So thanks for going over. I hope even more people go over and watch Moonfeather's stuff. She's been in crypto for a while now and using her talents to apply them to crypto. You can see she's had... she just mentioned the quote, millionaires don't do astrology, billionaires do, from JP Morgan. And she's gone over World Liberty Financial. Where's that show? I haven't got a chance to watch it, but I saw it. I saw you had a show on World Liberty Financial. So you guys definitely want to come over here and watch. So she's putting more crypto in along with the astrology, but the astrology is also something that I enjoy a lot. So definitely come over for that as well. So let's get into it. And as always, guys, we're going to try to keep the show tight here, but we're going to try to get to all the comments at the end. So keep all the comments going. And just like we did kind of last show, Mooney will draw a card as well, a couple cards towards the end. And Moonfeather, if you can, keep me honest with the time because I know you have a deadline. So if you have to just be like, skirt, it cut me off, and
No,
say it's
yeah, I just
Tarkheim,
go
I
bloop.
will
Okay,
not.
bloop.
I will not take offense at all. So
Yes,
keep me on the schedule here, and
absolutely,
yeah,
absolutely.
let's get into it here, guys. So I think I want to remind you guys of where we were last time, in which we went over this bearable bull riddle. If you're not familiar with bearable bull, like the riddle, there's these riddlers that always come out with these riddles, and for
Mm-hmm.
some reason, like it's like their way of disclosing things to us, right? And really, they're more right than they are wrong, and it ends up being some type of disclosure.
Mm-hmm.
So every New Year's or every Christmas Eve, they break down this on like XRP in the world of XRP. So what I noticed is, like we see here in this one that we broke down in the previous show, definitely go check out my previous lives. And in that, you can see how we broke down this last time. But I just want to point something out to you because it carries over to the previous ones that we're going to look at. You see these two invisible ledgers, or translucent, I should say, ledgers, 1, 2 that are green. But then if we go to the one that he did on the year before last, which would be, I guess, 2024, there are 3 ledgers, translucent ledgers, on this all white horse, right? So
Mm.
there is some carryover into what they're doing. And also, right, you can see this greenhouse in the background, which this greenhouse was the one before this year. So this was 2024. The other one is 2023. And we'll be going over that if we have time here also today. Okay.
Question, Ru. Question.
Yep.
So, I've just been getting into these memes, right? I know there's like there's a whole movement with these memes. So, my question, has it always been 3 ledgers, or from what you've noticed, did it just
Actually, no, because if we go to the year before this,
okay?
they're also, so there's 3 ledgers on the ground here. And then if I don't have it pulled up, but if you go to the year before this,
Mm-hmm.
there were actually 4 ledgers, translucent
Oh,
ledgers on
so
the
so
ground.
are so are you telling me that they're counting down as the years go by? 4, 3, 2.
It seems as though they are. It seems
Hmm.
as though they are. So
Interesting.
yeah,
And I
so in
know
the
we
go ahead.
and I'm sorry, I didn't mean to interrupt. Go ahead.
So in the year we covered, there are 2, and the previous 2 years there's 3.
Wow, that's very interesting, because I know I had said when we were talking about it right on the sidebar, and then we had mentioned also on the show that these invisible ledgers, it reminds me of clarity. When they get clarity, these are the ledgers, and I said, look out for when they become solid, because I think that's when we finally pass the Clarity Act, or the Genius Act. So, so very interesting that they've been showing up like that.
Yeah, it's interesting to think about because maybe they're not years, because you think, okay, the year before there were, 2023 there were 3, and then 2022 there were still 3, and then 2025 there were 2. So maybe that is not quite years, but
Right.
what is it? So
Like a
it's
countdown.
interesting.
It could be a countdown to the clarity, to the to when the Clarity Act becomes solidified.
That's
I'm just
interesting.
saying.
It
I'm
could
just
be.
saying.
I don't know. Like
It could be.
let's look at everything. And another thing I can notice here is that this red robot, which Is it AI? Is it robotics? He's holding this hourglass, right?
Mm-hmm.
This is 2023. If we go back to, or we go forward to 2024, where is he? I don't see him, but in
Mm-hmm.
this one, but then if you go back to or go forward to 2025,
Mm-hmm.
he's actually in the rocket ship.
Oh, the robot dude.
Yes, he's in the rocket ship, and in the rocket ship or on the rocket ship, they have Perseverencia, which I
The
think,
Perseverencia.
yeah, there we go.
I got the accent.
There we go. Yeah, you know I'm saying it
I
like a
got you. I
gringo,
got you.
like
Don't
a
worry about it. I
gringo
got
over
you.
here. Thank you.
Look, somebody, Cloud9963 said something very interesting. He said, Larry Fink, we need to move towards one central ledger.
Ooh, interesting. See, I love it, guys. Keep putting in the extra spice. We will definitely read it in here. Interesting.
Mm-hmm.
One
And
central ledger.
going back to when the red robo dude was holding the hourglass, and I
Let's go.
realized that there's one side of the glass, one color. Don't move from this screen just yet. Okay. Well,
Oh, okay.
the top. No, that's okay. The
Okay.
top is green. The bottom is purple. And if you go back to the previous one, the space,
Okay.
the moon one, we identified those colors with numbers on the board. Do you remember that it says
N-
589 on the board?
Okay,
So the
got
eight
you.
So the 8
Yes.
is purple and the 9 is green.
There we go.
That's a
Okay.
key.
Okay.
That's what you call a key. And then it happens to be that the two ledgers are on the desk. Oh wow. I'm thinking of it like that's wild, because the Clarity Act, um it's like kind of like saying the Clarity Act is on the table, you know.
Oh,
So
nice.
almost, it's like the countdown almost to be passed. I'm telling you, especially if you said one time there were 4, there were 3, and now they're 2, 3, 2, 1. Isn't there a tie to with somebody counting down 3, 2, 1, some type of X meme or
Oh, hold on one second.
yeah. So yeah, guys. So okay, this is the Mooniverse show now. So yeah, guys, it's wild. Ever since I saw this particular meme up, and I had said, Rue, that's the switchboard. The switchboard, because I have this, you know, this ability to distinguish patterns. It's the Gemini in me, right? That mercurial energy. And I'm able to distinguish patterns. I love puzzles. I love Rubik's cubes. I love anything puzzles, right? That's where I realized that that board says 589. And if you look on any switch, even if it's a light switch, right? That light switch is on the on position, So listen, I'm telling you, they're telling us, and the guy's ready. This red man dude is ready to take off in that rocket. Either he's ready to take off or he's already on the moon. Basically, it says he's already on the moon, because you take off from Earth, you don't really take off from the moon. I'm just
Right, and
saying.
I'm thinking too, like red's usually the color for down. So maybe like with the rocket ship and the moon, we actually moon and we're done with the red. Hopefully.
Mhm.
Hopefully.
Hopefully, we'll see. These are fun. These are really, really fun to decode.
So another thing that I notice here is that the king In this one for 2023, he has two hands. But in 2024, he now has a hook hand. And
That's
he's
what
like,
you said that the last time, and I'm like, oh wow, that's crazy.
he's
Hook,
also
hook.
missing his crown in
That's right.
2020.
The XPR dude has his crown.
Yes, yes, Mr. Like, yeah, you could say this is Marshall Hayner. You could say this is like Brad Garlinghouse, the Sun Knight, and he has this sun symbology on his person with this whole circle within the circle thing. This is like a sun
Mm-hmm.
symbology here.
Yeah.
And he's also in the gold, which is, you got the gold with the sun type of thing going on too. And he has the little shining sword here.
That's a Sirius star. That star right there for me, it looks like the Sirius star.
Okay.
You know, and there's so many cryptos that, well, not so many. There's one particular crypto that is associated with Sirius. Which one is it?
Well, there's a couple that they say like have a serious association. I can't think of them
Association, right? Mm-hmm.
off the top of
Remember
my
that
head.
the same star is on top of the tree too. That same star is on top of the tree or by the tree or something like that.
Okay, let's see.
The Christmas tree on the other.
Which one is this one? Okay, let's see. Let me go back to it.
On the space one.
Yes, it is. Good call. Good call.
Yeah. Could be the northern star too. Wow, that's wild because the Sirius star, I'm trying to associate it with crypto, but then when I think of it more in astrological sense, it points to the end of the year for Christmas time, which, by the way, that's what I've been talking about on my show, that I think the third to fourth quarter is when we're really going to see some really amazing gains. The market is going to do really amazing things, and that's come out in the cards, that's come out in my own feelings, but I could be wrong, but I'm also
Now,
picking it up.
on that note, I want to play something for people. And I
Mhm.
played it for them before here, in which Georgia Pelissari, Chief Product Officer of Hex Trust, basically says the same thing. She's thinking, okay, well, people aren't happy that everything's in the red right now, but towards the middle of the year and later, she thinks everything's going to be fine. And she hints at mentioning Canton because she says somebody has a deal with the CCCC, or the DTCC, excuse me.
Mhm.
But let me go ahead and play her, and I'm going to play her a little slowed down because she speaks very fast.
Mm.
Let me see here. So let's play her now.
With the initial one, then we've had a lot of prep work, in my view, towards what we're gonna be seeing 2026, which in my view is extremely exciting, despite the red in the market, which is obviously.
So she says 2026 is going to be exciting despite the red in the market.
Sad to wake up to. But also after you're in crypto, you know that's cyclic, right? So you're gonna have downturns and you need to keep pushing through. And especially in the institutional space, RWA tokenization.
So you'll have downturns, it's cyclic, which we know Bitcoin has its cycles. Even though they said, possibly that the before year cycle is broken this year. Maybe they're still right, half right at least, if we end up going up towards the middle of the year. But let's continue.
I think that's something that 2025 was a lot of build time, and we'll see the results this year. So I'm actually very, very excited, despite the bumpy first months of the year.
She says we'll see the results this year. She's very excited, despite the bumpy results the first months of the year.
But we have plans such as, for example, DTCC, tokenizing by mid-year, hundreds of billions of dollars.
DTCC tokenizing by mid-year, hundreds of billions of dollars. Who
See
for?
that?
Probably on Canton.
And they're gonna do in a specific chain. We're gonna, a name that probably many have heard so far in the market. But with the initial one.
There we go. Right. So this lines up with what you see, Moonfeather. Lines up with what different people are talking about, and this would make the people that say the 4-year cycle is kind of over partially right.
Yeah, it definitely, listen, it came out weeks ago. It came out in the cards during a live show. And I was like, oh my gosh, right before Bitcoin did gold did that crazy hyper pump and then it dumped. Right before that, it came out in the cards, and I said, you see people really walking away. I said, you see people kind of like really discouraged and walking away from crypto and things like that. And then that's when Bitcoin really started going down and so forth and so on. But then the energy showed that pointed towards the end, towards the end of 2026. So, but listen, we shall say it's not that far away. It's not that far away, honestly. So, but definitely for sure. And then I just wanted to make a note when you said, when we were talking about that Sirius, it was Silver Day. Shout out to Silver Days. He reminded me, he says it's from Sirius chain, XPX. And we're huge on the X coins, like on my channel. Also on another buddy of mine, GDLT, he talks about, shout out to him, he talks about a lot of X cryptos, really good quiet ones that are in the background, especially like XPR and XX network, things like that, the ones that are still really in the deep reds, and they're wonderful to jump in and grab like a crap load of them, because these are ones that are really working on amazing ledgers that are just really quantum and all of that stuff. So, but anyway, yeah. So
and one of the things King Pound is pointing out here is the use of the royal purple. Now, this royal purple is something that you see even in Chinese religions or royalty. You see it definitely in the British royalty. There's something known as Han purple. Like, look up Han purple, guys. It's crazy, Han purple. They say even like the terracotta soldiers were in this Han purple, and that's an interesting rabbit hole to get into. But yeah, this royal purple, we know that Metallicus uses this royal purple, right? And I don't know, is this a good time for you, Mooney, to segue into some Metallicus stuff?
I think, hey man, let's go with the flow. That's what I'm talking about. Which, by the way, I realized when we saw the likeness of the knight, that's Brad, he represents XRP. That knight represents XRP. And we've seen the purple flag in these memes say XRP. And I just realized right now that the horn on the unicorn is purple as well, and he happens to be riding the unicorn ahead of everyone else. You know what I'm saying? Like the leader leading the way. Listen, this, like, oh my gosh. Okay, so let's get into Proton, right? Or Metallicus, XRP. They're all right in the XPR, my bad. They're all in the same boat. So I said, Rue was talking about particular coins this in his past shows, And I said, Rue, for some reason, I don't know why, but XPR is really, really sticking out with me. He's like, oh my gosh, there's people that are asking me about XPR. I was like, you know what? Let's just break it down really quick as far as the numbers, the launch dates, and the other synchronicities that I found out with XPR. So, and of course, I got my notes here. I told Rue I feel like a news broadcaster. With my notes here. And he says, listen, that's what we are. We're here to bring the news. You know what I'm
That's
saying?
right.
So
That's right. Like we are
absolutely.
our own like news broadcast. We really
Yeah,
are. But
absolutely.
go ahead, Monique.
Absolutely. So, okay. So XPR, this is Metallicus, right? So associated with Metallicus. And if I get like the verbiage wrong, please correct me, Rue. So XPR network, formerly known as Proton, right? Which, by the
Well,
way,
they still have XPR network, but
yeah,
XPR is under that umbrella of
under that
Metallicus itself.
umbrella.
Yeah.
Exactly. That's what I wanted to say before. They're all under the same umbrella. Which, by the way, if y'all didn't know, a couple of months back, I think before the new year, Poland gifted the Pope a horse, a white horse. And the white horse was named Proton.
Oh my
Okay.
God, that's right. That's right. A lot of Metallicus people were coming out mentioning that. A lot of them. So I'm glad you mentioned that. That's perfect symbolism, guys. Like of
Exactly.
all things, and then you go back and you look at this picture and you see Brad Garlinghouse has the purple unicorn with the purple, the purple horn, and then the
And the
all
white
white.
freaking horse?
Yeah, the all white horse too has the three ledgers on top of it.
Come on, man. You think you think that's a coincidence? That is not a coincidence, guys. We onto them. We onto them. And let me tell you something. Because of people like Rue, like myself, like other people that I watch as well, that are, really talking about these low-key cryptos, right? We're not about like, the big one, the no, Bitcoin, things like that. When we talk about low-key cryptos, okay, like they don't want us to get out this news, all right? Because my friend who I just shouted out, GDLT, he got his YouTube got completely got shut down. He got demonetized, and all he talks about is all these smaller cryptos. So we're under attack as well because they don't want us to get rich. All right, guys. They don't want us to know about this. They want to hoard all of it to themselves, right? When it was the vibe back in the day in the last bull cycle, they, the majority of investors and bankers didn't want to know about crypto. They were demonizing it, until it was time to introduce, right, digital currency, ledgers, blockchain, all of that stuff, because that's the future. Right now, they don't want us to make money off of it. But anyway,
Like it's a
let's
real
get.
hard conversation to have, guys, because it's like you do see channels get demonetized, but if they're just
Mhm.
giving you information, it's like why would the YouTube like want to demonetize it? And that's the thing that really to me it one makes me wonder because it's really just information. They're not doing anything against policy.
Right,
It really
exactly. It's just information.
right. So it really
Mhm.
makes you kind of sit back and wonder, okay, why would they not want this? And
Mhm.
we could show you things just like Brad Garlinghouse and his tattoo here, where he's got XRP. It looks like inside of Saturn, and it looks like there's a
He,
whole umbrella
he's
type of
got
thing going
that's
over here.
Brad. He's got a tattoo.
Yeah, this is Brad Garlinghouse's
You better
tattoo
stop it.
with XRP and a whole looking, you know what I mean? It's a whole
Oh, I need to see.
astrology.
Yeah, I need to break that down. Like, I'm gonna take out some time and
Yes.
really look at that tattoo.
Yes, I'll send it to you too. Like
Please
this
do.
this tattoo looks astrology there's definitely some symbolism behind this
Kidding,
tattoo.
there's crazy symbolism in that.
So like people might give the side eye sometimes, but it's like look at what they're doing though. So it's kind of like
Listen,
that. It's
I
like anything you can use to try to get a leg up or an advantage in this market, why not use it, right? Um,
right.
but just to
Listen,
give you guys some more Metallicus info that just came out, Metallicus just expanded their relationship with FedNow, which we know is the American central bank, with service capabilities for request for payment certification. And we went over this a little bit yesterday with me, Max, and Future, but I just want to kind of let you guys know because it was at the end of the video. Some people might have missed it. Metallicus was previously certified for send, receive, and liquidity management through FedNow service. With the addition of requests for payment, Metallicus now enables credit unions to initiate real-time biller-presented payment requests directly through FedNow Instant Payment Rail,
mm,
unlocking improved cash flow, faster settlement, and enhanced member experiences. So now they can do through credit unions, which credit unions seem to be Metallicus's niche, right? Credit unions can now do direct instant payments through FedNow through Metallicus. And to me, this has a lot of connection and seems a lot like what Zebec is doing with NatPay, in which NatPay allows Zebec to do NatPay Now, in which they have instant real-time payroll through NatPay. Okay, so all of these ISO 20022 compliant things are really getting really very connected to the FedNow central bank. And as investors, you should feel very, very happy that this is something that you're here with. And yes, King Pound saying also Metallicus is also BSA compliant, which is very important as well. I think they're one of few cryptos that are BSA compliant. There are not too many that are BSA compliant. But go ahead, Mooney, continue, please.
that's okay. So amazing. I'm so glad that Ruth touched on that before I get into the XPR, because when Spirit put it in my heart about XPR, saying, don't forget to keep on buying some more. Don't forget to keep on buying some more. It's on a low. It's on its pretty good lows. I'm like, oh, okay. Then the news of this came out, all right, with Metallicus and FedNow. I was like, oh my gosh. I said, okay, bet. And then I mentioned it to Rue, and then he's like, all right, we need to talk about it. So Rue, if you can, please, can you find the death card, the tarot death card, please? Because this is going to play
Sure.
into the connection with what I'm going to talk about with XPR and what we just mentioned right now. Okay. So we have XPR, right? And then there's actually two symbolic launch dates or phases, however you want to put it, with this one, because I did a deep search and two dates keep coming up. And I was like, why are two dates keep coming up? This duality. Whenever things are dual like that, I always pay attention to it, especially, twin, Gemini. It just stands out to me, right? So we have the first
Nice.
date is April 29th, 2020. Okay. And then we have also let's see, April 29, 2020, which is Pisces season. So the Pisces energy season is attached to this coin as well. Okay. And if you guys look at the death card that Rue just popped up really quick, we were
Okay, I'll
talking
bring it
about,
down.
Yeah, that's okay. We were talking about how Poland gifted the Pope a white horse called Proton, right? And I know everyone was going nuts about it. And I said, oh my gosh, that reminds me of the death card, which is Tarot, right? I was like, that's always in my face. So you see the knight, you see the knight right there? Just like the knight in the memes. He's there and he's on the white horse, and then of course you see other things. You see a king dead on the floor and things like that, da 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 da. But then you also see the bishop. The bishop is like talking to the death, because he knows what the knight is coming for, like this harbinger of death. It means the ending of one cycle. People should never be afraid of this card. This is the ending of one cycle and the beginning of another, right? So endings are always very
Interesting.
difficult. All right. Endings
Interesting.
are always very difficult, but this is the beginning of something new. This is why you see the sun in the back, right? Which it reminds me of the star. The sun is the star, right? Also the rose. Every time I see that rose, for some reason, I don't know why, I keep getting alerts about this coin rose. So if anybody's invested in rose as well, I think it's going to do some really nice things. I haven't done the breakdown yet, but anyway, so specifically what I wanted to say about this particular tarot card is the death card is associated with Saturn. And I'm going to leave you there with that. And I'm going to continue here with the breakdown, right? So the first date is April 29, 2020. Okay. That is Pisces energy. Okay. Pisces, we are in right now in Pisces season. Pisces is intuitive, it's fluid, it's boundaries, it's dissolving, it's water energy. Okay. And it's also XPR is also it was also launched during the year of the rat. Okay. For that launch date, April 29, 2020, the year of the rat. Now, each year has, according to Chinese zodiac, each year has its animal, right? If you look it up, but it's also associated with an element. If I tell you the element that's associated with this rat, you're going to bug out. It's the metal rat, metallic guts. Okay.
Metal
2020.
blockchain. That's what they call it.
All right. It's the metal rat. So
That's great. That's great.
it's
Keep going.
also under this particular let's see, this energy. Let me see if I want to make sure that I'm going here. Da 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 da. Boom, March. Okay, that's the okay, so March 19th is the metal rat. Okay, perfect. I just want to make sure, guys, that I'm not giving you, because my information here, there's a lot and I try to highlight. I want to make sure. Okay, March 19th and April 29th. So for March, it is the metal rat. Perfect. Okay, and then March is also, for the March launch date, is also tied to the number 8 in numerology. Okay, and the energy 8 is ambition, is authority, it's manifesting power, it's abundance. I love the number 8 because the number 8 is very karmic, but it's also symbolizes money. Okay, and then the number 8, check this out, is associated with the numbers 1 through 9 are all associated with particular planets, right? The 1 is sun, so forth and so on. So the number 8 happens to be Saturn, which is the death card. Okay, do you see how these little connections, they know all of this, they know what they're doing, right?
Interesting. And the number 8, for some reason, the number 8 and the number 10 have been really, really big this year.
Standing out.
Yes.
I wouldn't doubt it. I wouldn't doubt it. It's mastery over material realms. It's cycles of of rises and falls, okay? But it's also associated with the planet Saturn. So there goes another connection, guys, with XPR, okay? Now, the second date, now, March 19th, we're coming up. That means we're coming up on an anniversary, okay, of XPR this March 19th. Guys, I cannot even begin to tell you all of the astrological transits, alignments that are happening for the month of March. This is why I said we have to really hold on because it's going to be a crazy month. First of all, we are in Mercury retrograde, and we are going to be, God help us, in Mercury retrograde for the entire season of Pisces up until the 20th of March, which happens to be spring equinox, which happens to be what else? What else is happening on the 20th? I got the date here. Hold on a
Really
minute.
close to
Yes,
St.
we are
Patty's
going.
Day.
Right, that's after St. Patty's, but on the 20th, we are also going into, the sun is transiting into Aries season, okay? So really look at after the 20th of March, according to the alignments and the energies that I've been seeing, expect the energy as far as yourself, right? Everything that has to do with your money, with love, with contracts, with business, have a huge step, like kind of like a release and starting to move forward. Remember, guys, we are still in winter. Things are still slowing down. We are in Mercury retrograde. There's still a lot of volatility going on in the market. You know, we don't have clarity. People are very emotional. Look what's going on in the world. Okay. So there's a lot of things going on. So,
Just kind of cut in for just a second there, Mooney.
Mhm.
So guys, remember we showed you with the St. Patrick's Day from the first thing here. We got Brad
Mhm.
Garlinghouse here holding the bagpipes, and they're giving them beers, and it seems like that might be St. Patrick's Day.
Might
Uh,
be,
it may be St. Patrick's Day. You can see here St. Patrick's Day is celebrated on March 17th, honoring, and 1 plus 7 is 8. There's another 8, honoring the patron saint of Ireland. Includes parades, wearing green, celebrating Irish culture, that type of stuff, right? But also on the 15th, we have the Ides of March,
Mm.
which Zebec, that is their ICO date. If you come over here and look, we have right here March 15th, 2022. That's their ICO date. And coincidentally, that is also the date where they are going to finish their token unlock.
Mm. That's right.
So their token unlock, where they unlock all their tokens, is going to be this March 15th. So all their tokens will be unlocked on that date.
Beautiful. I love that you just mentioned Zebec because that was going to be the next thing I was going to talk about. So beautiful. So we have XPR is the one of the main launch dates is March. That's 3/19. Okay. Now the launch date to Zebec, ZBCN, is, let me look here. Oh, look how nice. March 16th of 2022. So they're coming up on an anniversary as well, right? Rue was just talking about how they're going to release the rest of their coins. Let me tell you what else. So that March 16th of 2022 is also tied to Pisces energy, right? We are in Pisces season. Unfortunately, we're in Mercury retrograde, where it slows down everything, slows down tech, communication, causes brain fog. Like, you know, you want to get deeper into your spirituality, but it's clouded. You know, I don't sign any contracts. I don't do new businesses during this time until I get the clarity, until we out of it, until we get the clarity, right? So it's also tied to Pisces energy, just like XPR. And then it was also launched during the year of the tiger. Okay. And it's a water tiger. Pisces is also water, right? Pisces, I'm sorry, tiger is fluid courage, it's adaptive strength. Okay. And it's also tied to the number 7. Zebec has a 7 energy. Okay. Which also Elon Musk is a 7 life path as well. So 7s are seekers, mystic, analysts, inner, they have like this inner quest for a lot of hidden truth. They're, you know, they have a lot of depth. They suck at relationships. I mean, do you doubt it? Elon is like on his what, 12th? He got 12 kids. Now listen, you can have all the kids you want, but he's been through a lot of marriages. I mean, listen, you know, and it's also associated, the number 7 is also associated with the planet Neptune. All right. So ZBCN has a lot of strong Pisces energy because Neptune is the ruler of Pisces. Okay. And so it was also launched in the year of, I said the tiger year. Okay, perfect. Now this number 7 also is introspective depth, aligns with continuous, like a continuous flow. It also has to do with flowing value streams. So if you think streams, what is ZBN always talking about? What they do? Streaming payments. That's tied to the number 7 energy. Okay. Streaming payments as unbroken insight into time and money. And I'm like, are you serious? That's tied to the number 7 because that's what ZBN wants to do. It wants to do instant payments, right? So that's why I'm like, yo, this is so wild. So whenever you see like the number 7, it's very closely related to ZBCN for sure. So ZBCN instant payments, that's also equal to the number 7. It's wild. It's wild. You want me to go on? I got Canton. I got Canton and layer 0, and then that's it.
Okay, no. So Canton, let's go. So Canton, you guys know they just recently announced a partnership with ZBCN through the company Lattice. I'll bring that announcement up for you guys. So Lattice is a neobank in which Lattice and ZBCN are going to work together to bring the first MasterCard to Canton's ecosystem. And as far as they've shown us, this is just going to be the beginning of Zabec's partnership with Canton. Okay. Canton shared this information. Zebec shared this information. So effectively, even though they just say it's a partnership between Zebec and Lattice, the first neobank on Canton, Canton is acknowledging it as a partnership with them and Zebec. So let me bring that up right quick, guys. So here it is. We're partnering with Lattice Finance for the first neobank built on Canton network. This marks Zebec entry into the Canton ecosystem. Okay, so I think there's more to come there as far as DTCC and things like that. I really do think there's more coming there. Bridging real-time payments and card infrastructure to institutional grade blockchain finance. We're excited to begin actively supporting the next phase of compliant on-chain capital markets. And definitely go over here and look at this because they go deeper into what they're going to say here. They say, together we will launch the Lattice card program, the first MasterCard debit card in the Canton ecosystem, native Canton CC support. So they are going to support the CC token. That's one of the things we didn't. I don't know if we mentioned last night here with Rob and Max. Stablecoin funding and settlement, custom onboarding for Lattice users, 0 sign up, and no recurring fees. Purpose driven to unlock real world spending across the Canton ecosystem. So there's a lot to like here. Canton enables privacy preserving, compliant, and scalable settlement for institutions. Zebec brings real world payment rails. Now, Lattice connects both through a global neobank experience. Also understand that Canton does the privacy USDC for Circle, which USDCX is what they call it, where Canton enables Circle to be private via this reserve that Circle has on Ethereum, right? But they mint it on Canton to have a privacy USDCX, okay? And we already know that Circle is doubly invested in ZBCN, and that Breyer Capital, who's a lead investor in ZBCN, is also a lead investor in Circle, and Circle is also an investor in ZBCN. So there's multiple connections with Canton and Zebec, either through Circle or either through Zebec themselves. But let's go to you, Mooney, to add some more.
Yeah, awesome. So I say Canton, Canton, wonton. I just think of food.
Yeah, I always think about I think it's either the Basketball or Baseball Hall of Fame. They say it's Canton. Canton. But the way that the CEO says it, he says Canton. So I try to say it the way that the CEO says Canton, because people used to get on me for saying Zebec as Zebec, because technically it is pronounced Zebec, but the CEO says Zebec. So I'm trying to say it the way that the CEO says it.
Right,
But
right. Well,
Canton, Canton, you know what we mean.
listen, I just think about food. If I don't think about money, then I think about food.
Really? Like what? Cantaloupe?
Canton, like Cantonese, Chinese, right?
Oh, for real? Well, you got me thinking about cantaloupe.
Canton
I
rhymes with
love fruit. I
wonton.
love fruit, man. I love fruit. But
Yeah.
go ahead.
Fruit
Sorry
is
about
the healthy stuff. He thinks about the fruit. I think about, like, the 1 a.m.
Chinese.
Chinese food that's like bad for your health and shit, but it's so good. All right, well, listen. So Canton, I did a deep search on that, and the launch date was July 2nd of 2024. So this is is this a recent coin? This is a recent coin, right? Or network?
So it's interesting. They recently made the coin public for people to buy. But
Okay.
yeah, but Canton itself has been around for like 15 years, actually.
Really?
Yeah, but you've only most recently been able to buy the coin. Like a lot of us in the crypto community knew about Canton in like 2022, but you couldn't buy the coin then. So it's interesting. It's
So
interesting.
I'm gonna look, see, because I did a deep search, and guys, when it has to do, and I told Rude, when it has to do with reading, the white papers, documents, and stuff like that, I do AI. I let AI do it, because I honestly, I don't have the time. But if you find another date other than the date that I have, it says the launch date here I have is July 2nd of 2024. Did you ever look up that launch date for Canton, or not
I
really?
didn't, but let's bring it up here.
Yeah.
Let's see. Do they have it?
Because if they've been out for several years and they just recently allowed you see, there's several dates, and they do that on purpose to confuse. They don't want us reading these coins or reading their energies at all. So now I have here 3 dates. It went live on July 1st, 2024, which is the same year, by the way. If it's 2024, oh no, that's all right, July 2nd. That's the one that I have. Yeah, 2024. And then there's another one here. Was initially announced May 9th of 2023.
Interesting.
Including the global synchronizer and the Canton or Canton coin CC.
Got
Went
you. Yeah.
live. Yeah, it says it went live on July 1st, 2024.
Okay, that could be. I don't see it on my thing here on cryptorank.io, but I'll look it up while you're speaking here.
Okay, so either way, so I have there's so 2024 would put it launched for a wood dragon year. Okay, dragons are neutral for the year of the fire horse. They could do good, they could do bad, whatever it is. It's just they're very neutral with the fire horse. But what I found very interesting is that it's also tied to a number 8 in numerology, okay, which is the same thing as XPR. 8 is a wonderful number. Like I said, it has to do with money. It's, karmic. It's like, as above, so below. And it's also tied to Saturn energy. So this Canton has this ability of expansive growth, right? And this visionary force, which it makes sense why it's doing these deals with ZBCN. So the energy is there. 7 and 8s, blends very nicely. Okay. So did you find anything else?
So I found that they went live, like you were saying, July 1st, 2024, but it wasn't really globally available to us until November of 2025.
Okay, so I always go with the launch date because that's when they release, right?
Okay.
They release and they make it known out. So I always go with that energy.
Mhm.
And if it was released that day, it ties it to Cancer. Right now, Jupiter is in Cancer right now, but it's retrograde, right? And we know that Jupiter is the planet of growth, of expansion, of good luck, of good fortune. And but the thing is that when it's in retrograde, so that's kind of on pause. Like all those energies are on pause. But Jupiter, check
I'm
this
sorry,
out.
Mooney. Go right ahead. I'll be right back here. One
Yeah,
second.
absolutely. I got you. So it just so happens that this is why I said there's a lot, guys, going on in March, right? It just so happens that March 11th, Jupiter goes direct. Okay. And if that's the case, not only with this particular coin, Canton, right? It's going to, we could see it really moving forward, seeing it pick up some steam, right? After March 11th, and particularly March 20th. I think March 20th is kind of like the day where, Mercury goes direct, Mercury retrograde goes direct. And all of the energies free up because then we step into Aries. Aries is fire. We are in a fire horse year. We step into spring. What's the energy? What does what's the energy that spring holds, right? It's flourishing. Like everything just starts turning, a blooming, right? It's like now the earth is giving of itself. So this is why I'm saying after this March 20th, we're going to see wonderful energy within the collective, within ourselves, right? And things will be aligning a lot more. So the cloudiness and the hibernation and the darkness of winter is going to transition into spring, right? New, right? Rebirth, something like the seeds that we planted during the winter, now they're going to start putting forth, right? It's fruits, it's flowers, it's harvest. Well, it's bounty. It will happen towards the end of the year, which points to harvest, fall equinox, which that's why I'm saying towards the end of the year, I think the market is going to give of its fruits, of its harvest towards the end of the year. But anyway, so I think, so Jupiter goes direct March 11th. So you also have, let me see. I don't want to jump too much. So we spoke about Canton. Yes. So, so you have the, Canton tied to Cancer, but then Jupiter is going direct, for March 11th. So you could just keep an eye on that, hopefully, we'll probably see a little bit more, signing of contracts, or getting together with other, or with ZBCN, like, because it already looks like they're really, like, connecting with each other, because ZBCN already posted about, that's what you showed there before, right? That ZBCN posted about Canton and all of this and that stuff. So yeah, that's something to look at. So that's another synchronicity with that.
All right, perfect. So, so the transition into the layer 0, I know Mooney says she has some stuff on layer 0.
Yes.
Definitely go back, guys. I made a whole show, live stream on layer 0, Canton and Zabbec. Let me pull that up for you guys right quick, because it'll be impossible with the time we have left, like, for me to go too much over it. But you can see here, Zebec, tempo, layer 0, 1.4 trillion. Okay. The bottom line to it is that layer 0 has some connections to Canton, and that they're a validator for Canton, and they share investors with Zebec, with Gemini and Lightspeed. And
Wait, can you say with
uh-huh.
who? Can you say they have what with who?
They share investors with Zebec, the exchange Gemini, and also Lightspeed.
All right, continue. You're gonna love this. You're gonna love this.
So, layer 0 2 here recently, guys, they got a big investment from Cathie Wood and ARK Invest. Let me just bring that up for you right quick here. Layer 0 announces Zero blockchain to build global market infrastructure and collaboration. Now, the people that they're going to collaborate right here with are people who are already collaborated with Canton. Citadel Securities, you might remember Citadel Securities from back in the day when they shut down Robinhood, right? When the whole GameStop stuff was going on. I just realized my microphone is pointed the wrong way, so you guys might not be able to hear me well.
No, I heard you fine. I heard you
okay,
fine.
so they were involved in the whole Robinhood thing where they shut down people trading. They shut down the trading. So Citadel Securities, the Depository Trust and Clearing Corporation, DTCC, which we hear a lot about them lately today. They're definitely like right in there with Canton. And then they also mentioned for the second time, strategic investment in 0 from Citadel Securities. Well, we also have an investment from Cathie Wood of ARK Invest. If you're familiar with stocks, you'll know that Cathie Wood was a very early investor in Tesla, right? When people thought Tesla wasn't going to do anything, Cathie Wood and her ARK Invest company were heavy in on Tesla. So they made out like bandits when Tesla went up, right? And I've gone through and made some connections. You could definitely make some connections with Cathie Wood and Tim Draper, right? But I digress. So here, layer 0 is connected to Citadel Securities, DTCC Cloud, Google Cloud, and Intercontinental Exchange. Also ARK Invest. But again, watch that show where I go deeper into it. Pause if you want to get a deeper view on what's going on with layer 0. But this is enough with the DTCC and Citadel to connect them to Canton. And then, like I said earlier, with Zebec, they share investors, Gemini and Lightspeed Ventures. There are also some others that they share, which if I can just pop that up really quickly. Again, go watch the show because I go more in depth in the show with it here. But you see here, Layer Zero, we got Andreessen Horowitz, we got Coinbase Ventures, we got Circle, we got Lightspeed, we got Animoca Brands, we got Gemini Exchange. Now, if I go over to Zebec, you're going to see some of the same people I just named there. So we got Coinbase Ventures, Circle, Lightspeed, Gemini. So it's right there. It's right there. So
Nice.
so yeah. So they're multiple. There's Circle, Gemini, Lightspeed, Coinbase Ventures. Okay, so they got like 4 or 5 different investors. Are the same investors in Zebec, are the same investors in Layer Zero. So, okay, go ahead, Muni.
All right, awesome. Hold on a second. I just want to make this up right here because this is crazy right now. Oh my gosh. All right. So we were Rue was just talking about Canton, and I have some very interesting synchronicities that, and I love how this is just coming you know, how we're talking about it this way, because it's just wow. So the launch date for Layer Zero, and I double checked again, for Layer Zero was launched June 20th, 2024. Now, for y'all that don't know, June 20th is Gemini season. Okay.
Nice.
All right. And it was launched during the Wood Dragon year as well. Same as Canton or Canton. This is why they're going to work very well together. If they are, right? Because you said that I know Zebec is like, right. I mean, I don't know if Zebec is kind of like the leader, kind of bringing them in, but if they do, they're going to work very well with Canton as well. And not only that, it is, we know that the Wood Dragon is creative, it's expansion, and then it's also tied to the number 7, just like Zebec. So these energies are playing off of each other. They attract each other. This is why they are going to work very well together. Okay. And the same thing, they're also tied to Neptune. That's number 7 is tied to Neptune energy. Okay. Now, as far as Gemini, because XRP is also a Gemini coin. I can't remember if I mentioned it during your show. I probably did the last time I was on, but it brings my attention, Gemini, because Uranus presently is in Taurus, okay? But it doesn't do well. It doesn't do well in Taurus, and Taurus doesn't do well when Gemini is in it. I'm sorry, when Uranus is in Taurus. This is why we're seeing a lot of this crazy weather, a lot of solar activity, everything that's going on the earth, like all of these crazy volcano explosions that are going on in Hawaii as well, things like that. But Uranus is transiting into Gemini on April 25th, 26th, depends where you are. Okay. Now that struck a bell because the fact that XRP is a Gemini coin, because it was launched June 2nd, and it's also a number 8 coin. Like I said, 8 is tied to money, right? So I was like, oh, that's interesting. And Uranus loves to be in Gemini, And the crazy thing is that all of a sudden, now you're hearing Brad after they did the World Liberty Financial Forum. That's where Brad came on and started talking about the Clarity Act. Oh, the Clarity Act. Oh, 75% of the Clarity Act to be passed by the end of April. And that's after Uranus.
And let's pull that clip up. I'm
Yeah,
glad you mentioned that. Let's pull that clip up with
yeah.
Brad Garlinghouse mentioning that right
Mm-hmm.
now.
After Uranus goes transits into, I'm telling you, if I'm a betting woman and I'm a betting woman, I promise you that after we get into that transit of Uranus into Gemini for the 26th of April or the 25th, they're going to do the Clarity Act.
So it says Ripple CEO 80% chance that Clarity passes by April. The volume seems to be low. I'll see what I can do to turn it up. No, that's the
They
max I
went
can
from
get.
75% to 80% to 90% was the last one that I
Yeah,
heard.
the 90 was the last one I heard too.
Mm-hmm.
So yeah, so this says 80, but I think the last thing he said was 90.
Actually, the prediction markets around this point, around the Clarity Act, spiked because of some comments yesterday from Senator Moreno, who's been an advocate. I think it's now 90% it will pass by the end of April.
See, he says 90.
I had said a couple weeks ago, I thought end of April. At the time, people thought that was a little optimistic. There's a meeting today with a lot of leaders on both sides, the crypto and banking, in the White House. Actually, it's in 30 minutes or so. Ripple's chief legal officer is representing kind of Team Ripple there. But the White House is pushing hard on this, and I think that is a big reason why it will get done. It needs to get done for U.S. leadership. President Trump has been a clear leader and put the stake out there that we need the U.S. to be the crypto capital of the world. That's good for U.S. competitiveness, and that leadership from David Sachs and Patrick Witt in the White House have been really critical around this.
And remember, this is the guy I just showed you who has the Saturn tattoo on his arm. Okay. So,
And he just had a
there you
birthday.
go.
He just had a birthday, February 2, as well.
Okay.
Mm-hmm. So, guys, listen. Like, there's no such thing as coincidence. This all is in alignment with the things that we're seeing, in the astro charts. It's wild. It's wild. But there's a reason for that. We are, the scientific proof that what the stars are made out of, that's what we're made out of. All of that is us. First, everything is within. That's only a reflection. Everything that's going out and going on in the world, everything that's going on in the cosmos, it's a reflection of what's going on within, right? As within, so without. So yeah, I find that super, super interesting. Super interesting. So yeah. So after April, let me see, you got April, May, June. Let me see. April, May, and June is the second quarter. And then we're going to go, you see, it's going to line exactly. But then when we get into the third and the fourth quarter, forget about it, man. We're going to get into fall season after that. It's going to be the harvest. And y'all better be ready.
Yeah, I'm thinking it's looking good, and this is so many people have said, right? That they see the market turning around towards the middle of the year. Like people in the know. I just showed you the lady from Hex Trust, Georgia. Georgia, I can't remember her last name. I can never remember her last name. She said it. You have Brad Garlinghouse saying, hey, we get the Clarity Act passed by April. And here I can show you again, we have not only Garlinghouse saying it, we have Bernie Moreno, like Garlinghouse said, saying some of the same things here. So let me bring that interview up too with him and Brian Armstrong of Coinbase. And here it is. We'll play it now.
What is the status of the market structure regulation that you famously blocked from passing a few weeks ago?
Yeah, well, we're here meeting with crypto companies, bank representatives, and senators as well to see if we can get to a solution on market structure. And one of the big issues that did come up in the past was this idea of stablecoins on rewards. I wouldn't say we blocked it. In fact, nobody, I think, in the crypto space has been working harder on this over the last few years to try to get some legislation. What we did say was the current draft, we had some issues with it. I think that caused everyone to come back to the table. And there's now a path forward where we can get a win-win-win outcome here. A win for the crypto industry, a win for the banks, and a win for the American consumer to get President Trump's crypto agenda through to the finish line so we can make America the crypto capital of the world.
Were you surprised? What was your reaction when he after he's obviously been so involved in this and was so deep on it and then came out against the version of the bill? How did you react to that?
Well, look, I had concerns about the bill, still have some concerns about the bill. We weren't done. We got hung up on the issue of rewards on stablecoins, which is really, in my mind, really shouldn't be part of this equation.
Wait, can we just explain this? Like why people should care about this? What the whole yield rewards on stablecoins thing is about?
Well, unless you own a bank, you probably shouldn't care. Because if you're an American consumer, what it means is that the cash that you hold, you're going to have competition to pay you more interest. So you're going to be able to get more money for the money that you have in your wallet. Or
I think it's very funny. He said, if you're a bank, you shouldn't care. But then he came right back and said, like, the PC answer is like, hey, we're trying to get more money in Americans' pockets with interest. But good for him for trying and fighting for having more money in Americans' pockets with interest. Let's continue.
the money that you have in some sort of account. So this is very, very good for working Americans, because ultimately this is about giving Americans more rewards for being able to have cash on reserve, be able to get paid quicker, be able to transact faster, democratize the financial systems. But we're going to get this bill across the finish line. But I would say
When?
Hopefully by April. Hopefully by April.
What is this?
By April. Okay, so multiple different sources there. We shall see.
Yeah, we gotta do just wait and see. That's it, man. I'm telling you, it's gonna be wild. And this is my opinion. This is my opinion. I think, when we do start to see this bull run, especially for altcoins, I think it's gonna be because of the way I see numbers, numerology, the energies that's tied to particular cryptos. I think it's not going to be all at the same time. I think each one is going to have their moment. You know what I'm saying? But the fact that it is going to happen, listen, man. Yeah, it's.
I like that we see like all the money kind of tying together. The ARK Invest, the FedNow, the Layer Zero, the Zebec, the Canton, the XPR, the Metallicus, the Stronghold, the XRP, the XLM, like all of these guys coming together, the Firebloxes and the Quants. It makes it really easy to follow the money. And then when you throw on top of it, the symbolism, when you throw on top of it,
Wild.
blood moon and the different things, it really gives you a whole bunch of different tools to say, okay, how is the market going to react? How can we be in the best position as investors, right? To know, like, to make the moves we need to make, even though we know the outcome. We know the future outcome is that they're going to use this. They're going to have agentic AI. They're going to set up things so that we have the death, like you were saying with the death card, right? The death of the old system and the birth of the new system.
There you
So
go.
this is happening, like it or not. As much as they want to play around with when they're going to sign a bill or when they're not going to sign the bill, the president and people around him are pot committed, like they have their own money into this, and they're definitely going to pump their own bags.
Yeah, absolutely.
So let's see here. Let me see if we got everything. I'm trying to stay cognizant of the time. Now might be a good time if you want to do the cards. Oh, do you also want to do the chart here? Okay, because we
Oh
we
yes,
didn't
let's
say
do that.
anything about. Okay,
Perfect. Yes, and then I'll get into like the blood moon energy. Yes, yes. This
okay,
upcoming full moon lunar eclipse, guys.
so this is something I've been talking to you guys about. This blood moon that is coming up, right?
Mm-hmm.
And we did some talk about this and some stuff that I found here on Twitter about this. Let me bring that up as well. In which someone said, hey, the last few blood moons have not worked out very well for Bitcoin. Okay, so this is going to go into what Mooney's going to explain in the chart here. But
Mm-hmm.
let me bring it up here. Let me bring up the post. Shout out to our brother Rob from Crypto Future here. We went over this on a live stream when he was me and him were doing a live stream. Shout out to my brother Rob there. Let me go ahead and share the screen here again.
Shout out to everyone in the chat and chiming in and hitting the likes and stuff. You guys are amazing.
And just in case you guys don't know where to find Rob's channel, you come on over to my channel here and you mosey right on down here. And we showed you here Mooney's channel. If you come over here, you see our brother Crypto Crossroads show here. Whoops, I'm a little quick on the draw there, guys. Excuse me. After you come over here, you see our brother Crypto Future here. So definitely go give him a like and subscribe if you haven't already. And you'll see a couple different live streams we've done here recently. And check him out. You can see here, me, him, and Max. We did this one yesterday. We're going to be doing one every Thursday. So shout out to our brother.
He was on the show last night. Is this?
Yes. Shout out to our.
I'm gonna follow him. He's in the chat.
Yes.
Awesome. I think it was totally cool. I love his energy.
That's how everyone says that. Everyone says
Really?
they love
Yes,
Rob's energy. Can you believe this? Guys, Canadian. He came up to me and Max here in person in Phoenix, and he says this, Mooney. He says this.
Oh, you motherfuckers. Okay. All right. I'm putting cases on all you bitches.
Oh, I did not realize at first it was training day, but he told me and I was like, oh my God, that is, and you landed it.
Oh, that is so awesome. Yeah, because you were playing those memes. That's wild. I love it. You were playing those clips. I was like, what is that? I was like, okay, it's probably like an inside joke or something. I don't know.
Right? So just to explain that, but here we go back to this blood moon, guys. So this blood moon is coming up here on March 2nd, and I have the post ready here where a gentleman was talking about it. Okay, here it is. So throughout history, every blood moon has lined up with a bearish Bitcoin event. January 18th blood moon, Bitcoin fell from 20K to 10K. Okay, starting the bear market. 2021, it dropped from 58K to 30K due to regulatory pressure. Now, this one everyone might remember. November 2022, FTX crash. Bitcoin nuked down to 15K. I remember this specifically because they announced the whole thing with FTX on November 2nd. But the actual market didn't crash until the eclipse, which was November 7th through 8th. And that's when the market went bloop. Okay?
Yeah, it was bad.
So they're saying the last blood moon was September 2025, where we hit the top, 126K, and the next one will be March 2nd through 3rd. So next Monday through Tuesday. So be aware. And this is what Mooney is going to go through right now. So here, just to show you quickly the calendar, total lunar eclipse, March 2nd through 3rd. And they have the moon in red here. But Mooney is going to break down the actual chart.
Can you pull up the chart that I showed you on AstroSeek? Are you able to do that?
Yes. Oh my gosh. Did I? Yeah. Okay. Here it is. Here it is. We got to zoom out a little bit to get the whole chart.
Yeah, that's fine. Yeah, if you could just clear out the screen and just show that, that's because you have to try to get it. Yeah, if you just move out the windows, get me out of the way.
Okay, let me see. Sorry about that.
No, that's okay. Yeah, it's a little bit of a pain in the butt, that thing, but yeah, if you close out those little windows, yeah, it's a little bit of a pain in the butt. Guys, so this is astro-seek.com. I use it a lot. It's very heavy as far as astrology and charts and all of this and that stuff. So I'm going to give you some real basic astrology 101 here. Okay, so on March 3rd, at 11:34 or 11:37 UT time, universal time, and depending where you are too, right? I'm talking about universal time. We are going to have what's called a total lunar eclipse, full moon in Virgo. Okay.
Okay, what was that time again, Mooney?
Yeah, it says 11:34 through 11:37 universal time. So that's interesting because that 11:37, that's like, those are my numbers right there, by the way. Anyway, so this is a full moon in Virgo. It's also known as the blood moon, right? So the moon is going to be at 12 degrees in Virgo. And it's going to be visible in America, but a little bit more like on the coast. Like you'll be able to see it a lot redder than me, Rue, out in Arizona. Okay, that's if it's a clear night. Now, so this, remember, a full moon is the energy, it holds the energy of release, right? So if you're into following the phases of the moon, or if you're into just spirituality and stuff, this is a time not to put intentions out there. This is a time to release things and energies and people and situations that do not align with you. That's the energy, is just release. And if you doubt it and you're not into astrology or the moon or the sun or this and that, whatever, Rue just showed you proof on blood moon, full moon lunar eclipses in the past, how the market has dipped. That's release. It's dumping. That's what you do. I said, all of this astrology stuff is what is going on within you, and then it reflects without, right? So the most important thing that I always say on my show, that we are here to learn about ourselves. Just like the Oracle told Neo, know thyself. That's what we're here to do, is to learn who we are, right? And then when we see these energies and how they affect us and everything around us, then we become more emotionally intelligent, more spiritually intelligent, and wiser, right? Because I'm a firm believer, yes, everyone goes through different levels of trauma, and then we get to a point in our lives, we're supposed to get to a point in our lives where we want to do the healing, we want to do the inner work, right? Because at some point, people have to get tired of the same freaking repetitive crap cycles that go on in your life. Like you're tired of money blockages, you're tired of bad energy, you're tired of bad connections, you're tired of just, not bringing forth the life and the things that you want, that you know that you very well deserve, whatever that may be. Everybody's on a different level, right? So when we start learning these things, we understand that now we have to align our energy, right? We need to do the healing. We need to do the inner work, the shadow work. That's what the death card is also, all right? As well as the tower, all right? The tower is when everything crashes down. That's when you like at hitting rock bottom, and then you learn from those lessons, and then you move on, right? Certain phases, then it leads you to the death card. That's a death and rebirth, right? You're reborn into a version of yourself, a better version of yourself, a wiser version of yourself, right? So let's get back to the full moon. So that's what this is about. It's about releasing, right? So the fact that it is in Virgo, it's telling us it's important for us to release perfectionism, scrutiny, right? Judgmental, being a little too judgmental on yourself, maybe on others, okay? Scrutiny about details, like also when it comes to technology, things aren't going to work out, especially together with the Mercury in retrograde. This is why it's going to be a very difficult month of March, okay? Because you're going to throw this new moon, this full moon energy into it. So we need to start really cleaning house. Okay, we need to start cleaning house, right? That's a saying. And finding closures to things, that cutting ties and cutting loose ends and closing out things that don't serve us. Because when something new comes in, we have to be ready for it. This is why I say, guys, make sure you're ready towards the end of the year for the harvest. Make sure you have a plan. Make sure you're in alignment, right? Because that's what energy is. Energy is always going to align to what you have, right? How your mind is, how your heart is, how your soul is, how your spirit is, right? And like luck isn't by chance, right? Luck is because you're in alignment with whatever it is that you consider to be lucky, that happens to be very fortuitous in your life, okay? And if you look at the chart right there, there's a big red line that you see going across. And if you look to the left of that line, it is
what's
connected.
this one? What's this symbol, Mooney? I forget.
I can't see, Bobby, which one? Yes. Okay, so that is called an opposition. Okay. That's opposition, and it's really, it's tied to very negative energy, obviously, because it's red, right? So it is saying that for this lunar eclipse, this full moon lunar eclipse, the sun and the moon, you see the moon is to the right, and the sun is to the left of that line. The moon is in Virgo. That's why I said it is in Virgo right now. Papi, what are you doing? I'm on a live, bro. That's okay, but you're moving the camera, dude. That's my youngest one. I'm like, I'm on a live. What are you doing? He's going nuts. But those are kids, right?
Yeah.
So,
right.
so that's why I said this full moon is in Virgo. So that's what that means. It's because the moon is in that particular sign in the sky. But there's an opposition, a great opposition. This means it's the energies are going to be extremely volatile within yourself. And also, you're going to see it in other people. You're going to see it in the market. You're going to come across people who are feeling depressed, they're down, or they're angry. You have to look out also people who have mental issues like dementia, Alzheimer's. They're going to be they're going to be like OD if they haven't started already, but they're going to be OD during that time. Trust me. It's you wouldn't think so, but trust me, when you become more vigilant and more in the moment, you're going to start noticing. But then the thing is about knowing these energies is then you learn how to move, what to do and what not to do, to extend grace to yourself, to extend grace to others. Okay. So that's a great opposition. And it shows you that it's just not good all the way around. Okay. That opposition with the sun and the moon. And then if you
Okay.
also see,
And just hold up for you guys. The sun is the one that looks like the thing that was on Brad Garling's house's shoulder, right? The
on the dot,
monad,
right? Exactly.
the circle with the dot.
Mhm. Right.
This symbol right here is Pisces. That looks kind of like the H bar or H.
Mhm.
That's Pisces. And this red
Right.
line is going from, it seems like Pisces all the way over to. So it's from the sun all the way over to the moon, and this is. What symbol is this? The M looking symbol.
Which I don't see. I'm sorry. Tell me.
No, it's Scorpio. Is that Scorpio? No, that's
No,
Virgo.
that's Virgo. That's Virgo. Yeah. Pisces is always opposite from Virgo. Yes.
Okay, gotcha.
So, and also if you look at the where Pisces is, you're gonna see another red line right under the main red line that's connecting 3 other planets. It's connecting Mercury, which is in retrograde, it's connecting Mars, and it's connecting Neptune. Remember, we were talking about Neptune, right? That they're attached to the number 7 and the coins that we were talking about. We were also talking about Mercury retrograde. It's retrograde in Pisces. And Mars. So Mars is fire. And when it's in water, it's like when you kind of put a hot poker in water, so it causes a lot of that friction. So that's kind of the energy. So if you could put all of that together, and that's why there's a red line there. That's called a square. Square is also negative energy. Okay. And that's been squaring for some time now, which is why we got the crazy blockbuster blizzard here of the century on my, part of the states here. And if you see, I posted a video. It was only halfway. The storm was only halfway, and the snow was already halfway up my door. The wildest thing. Never seen it. It was like it beat 78. It beat the blizzard of 78. But anyway, so these squares, and this is why we're seeing the market go down a lot. There's analysts that are saying we could expect it to go even deeper. There's going to be one big, huge dump. That's what I'm hearing. I kind of see it before it pumps again. But yeah,
and that's what I really think this blood moon is.
Yeah.
But just to keep us early cognizant of the time, is 6:40 my time. Do you have time for a card, Mooney?
Yeah, absolutely. So I just wanted to show y'all that, just so then, when you look at it, you can look at it with a little bit more. Oh, okay. I remember Mooney said this though, but just remember your girl, all right? When you say, oh yeah, I know what that is. That's an astro chart, even though I don't know how to read it.
and see the point, like guys like the old philosophers used to look at this stuff, like the Socrates and Aristotles and all of this. Like they used to have a vast knowledge of the stars. And it's ludicrous to me today that we don't even think about it. I think so many people.
But it was done on purpose.
Right.
That was done on purpose.
But this was must have knowledge for the Socrateses and the Platos and all of this. They had to understand this. They had instruments that helped them understand this. That we move so far away from it right now is kind of laughable to me. But that's just my 2 cents here. But let's go ahead and let's do a chart here.
All right, perfect. I hope y'all enjoyed that.
Okay, we'll do full screen here.
Okay, perfect. Okay, so Rue is giving me the floor to pull some cards, and 'cause this is what I do, like, right? This is what I do on my show. And I just get some cards, like some advice, money advice. By the way, if anybody has a question, I think we have about maybe a little bit of time. If somebody has a question, about money or something that they want me to read for, but you're not obligated to. But yeah, I'm gonna pull some energy uh to see what the advice is as far as, yeah, our finances, business. Oh, look at that. It's a finances, business, and the Queen of Pentacles, of course, coins, pulls that comes out. So that's very interesting. Very interesting. So yeah, spirit. So let's get the energy. What's the energy? What's the advice? I'm gonna just put that. Let me put her right here. Let me put this up here. And there we go. What's the advice, spirit, for the collective when it comes to finances? You know, I guess for the month of, oh yeah, let's do the month of March, since we were really talking about the energy of March. March is very, very significant coming up. Okay. Spirit, what's the advice for the collective when it comes to their finances for the month of March? What are we looking at? What's the advice? Oh, thank you, Spirit. Oh, very nice. Thank you, Spirit. Oh, one more. Let's get one more, Spirit. One more. You. Ooh, very nice. So we have, I'm talking about, first of all, as I was just flipping around, right? Shuffling my cards, the Queen of Pentacles comes out. So we were talking about money. She's amazing. She's very financially stable. She's a nurturer. She's very wise in her investments. So that's the energy. Be very, very wise with your investments during this time. Grounded. She's extremely grounded too. She doesn't do any frivolous spending or anything. So that's the energy. And talk about the divine feminine energy. Divine feminine energy really does draw in, a lot of beautiful nurturing energy, abundance, finances. Why? Because you have here the Empress. The Empress is amazing. She's tied to the energy of Venus. Venus, this is also the number 3. That's divinity, that's Trinity. And she's all about abundant energy. She brings forth amazing just fruits of, and she's just chill. She doesn't chase anything. She's very, very chill. And I love the Venus energy because Venus has to do with love, creation, abundance, beauty, and money. She's big. She loves money. She always has it, lives a life of ease, never want for anything. So this is very, very powerful. And there is some Venus energy going on for the month of February, but it's going to be after. It's going to be after. It's Earth. Earth, remember, Earth is also has to do with metals. It has to do with anything that comes from the earth. So I also think of money, coins, gold, silver, bronze, things like that.
It's pretty funny. I was watching this show, Mooney, and they were telling me that Venus is another name for Aphrodite. I didn't realize that.
Yeah, that's right. Absolutely, absolutely. And so it's funny because metals have been easily inching up steadily. It wasn't doing like any wild swings. It hasn't been doing any wild swings. I don't expect it to dip back down into the 70s again, honestly. So me, I think of it like this. I'm like, listen, I'd rather buy metals, like real physical metals, than leave my money in a savings account, you know, because it's always going to have value, you know,
Very true.
if I transfer my money into metals. But that's just my advice. I'm not a financial advisor. But anyway, so yeah, so that's amazing energy. I just feel that this divine feminine, this beautiful divine feminine energy is going to be with us for the month of March. So it's just, you know, it's just chill. Let's just chill, let things play out, okay? Because then here you have the 10, here you have the 10 of wands. Wands is working. It's fire energy, okay? But it's also related to the number 10. 10 is finality, like that's it. Like he's taking these wands and he's bringing them home. Like all this work, that's it. He's coming home. He's done.
And it's funny
Okay.
because what did I say like earlier, guys? Like the numbers, at least for me, the numbers 10 and 8 have come up a lot this year. Like, and of course, when you look at it, 20, 26, 2 plus 6 is 8. But then if you want to say 2, that you take that other 2, 2, and 6 is 10.
Listen, and then 10 is also related to 2026. 2026 is a 1 or a 10 year, right? Because I don't want to eliminate the 0, because the 0 is the divine feminine energy. The 1 is the male and the 0 is the female. So that is that makes it even more powerful. So
Right, someone this is a bad joke, but they always say like poles and holes. Like
there you go.
that's like
Listen, that's the truth.
binary code, right?
Binary
0
code.
and 1, 0 and 1, right?
That's it. Ones and zeros, zeros and ones. Yeah, because you always want, everybody always, you say, oh, 0 doesn't have value, but everybody always wants zeros in their bank accounts, more zeros in their bank account, right? Right? That's when zeros count.
And the way I think of it too is like life and death, 0 and 1.
There you go. And
Like,
the thing is, yeah, absolutely. So, so this month we are coming, many of us, and I absolutely feel it, especially after the 20th, after March 20th, towards the end of March, going into April. It's like we're finally gonna come in, and all of this hard work that we've been putting in, it's really gonna start catapulting forward, like this energy, you know. Remember, I said we're still in fall. After the 20th, we're gonna get into the spring, and we're gonna have a lot of forward movement energy. This is fire card, remember, fire horse. So yeah, so that's amazing. That's amazing. And the last card here, the last card here is the 4 of Swords. That is rest. Like rest during this time. That's air, that's Libra. This is the time where, you know what, you just need to chill. You need to chill, because when we start getting into this spring equinox to move forward with this amazing energy, it's going to be go time. So now is still a time to chill, to watch, to observe. And listen, I'm not going to lie. If XRP goes down to 50 cents, I'm going to buy. I ain't stupid either. You know what I'm saying? I ain't stupid either. I'm going to buy, you know, because hey, when everything is in the red, that's when you buy. You know, so you just got to be smart. Just be financially smart, you know, take calculated risks and stuff. But, you know, like I said, that's my advice. You don't even have to follow that. But this is great energy. This is exactly, I so resonate with this. Exactly talking about the energy for this coming month. So yeah, guys. So don't worry. We still need to rest. We still need to chill. We still got to put in the work and move forward. But we are coming to the end of that soon enough, guys. So yeah, that's amazing.
Awesome. So we'll definitely have to do this again. Like, I think there were a few other riddles we didn't get to, and we could always come and talk about World Liberty Financial too. So
yeah, absolutely.
Yeah, I still have to watch your show now. I can't wait to see that. So Thank you guys so much. Thank you so much, Moonfeather, for coming on. Definitely, let's go over here one more time, guys. Definitely go over to Moonfeather's channel, give her a like and subscribe, just to show you guys. Scroll right down from my channel, from the home page. Mooniverse is right here. Come on, she's one away from 500. We can get her there.
Really?
Yes, she's one away from 500. We can definitely get her there tonight. And all you guys who watch the recordings as well. So if you made it to the end, definitely put Mooniverse in once the live ends. It'll let us know that you got to the end, and it'll also give Mooney some shine out here. Thank you so much, Mooney. We'll definitely have to do this again. And
Absolutely. Absolutely. It's always so much fun to to collab with you, Ru. Seriously. I mean, listen, you do amazing work here with all of your with all your people, and the work that you do is just it's amazing. It's amazing. You do give so much of yourself to this, and for an extremely long time. And I appreciate you, and thank you for allowing me to come here and share this space with you and with everyone in the chat. You guys, you have the most amazing community. You really, really do. Every time I'm able to pop in on a live, like everybody's like, very interactive, and it's amazing. You guys are so wonderful.
And I see you guys in the chat too, and I saw you guys are like participating. You were saying stuff about sevens. You were mentioning you were in the chat. You were in what was happening, and I very much appreciate you guys for that. And sorry we didn't get a chance to read all the comments this time.
I know, guys. I'm so sorry.
But we had a time schedule this time. So please know that you guys are always appreciated. And any closing points?
Absolutely. Again, shout out to you. So much love to you and to your family, Ru. And thank you again for holding this space for me, for everyone here. So much love to everyone. So much love to everyone in the chat, and for all the comments, for the support, for the love as well. And guys, listen, like I said, this is going to be a very, very special. Every year is very special. And but I think, with everything, the way everything is aligning, it's really calling for people to step up, to step up, to be the leader that we're meant to be, whether it's for ourselves, whether it's for our inner circle, or a much larger audience, for our family, or for, you have an Instagram, a YouTube, whatever it is. But it's a time to step up, and to really give space to your creativity, and to blossom. This is a year to absolutely blossom, and give space to your gifts. Everyone has amazing gifts, and we need them, guys. We need them. We need this encouragement. We need the love. We need the support. And yeah, guys, it's amazing. I'm excited. I'm so excited, and for everyone as well. And but like always, I'm always sending out so much love, health, wealth, prosperity, success, protection, joy, love, peace, a life of ease, and just joy, guys, and so much peace. I love you guys. Thank you so much, Ru. I can't wait to do this again, guys.
For sure. Have a good one, guys. Peace.